because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Parks. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To the right side and complete to Washington. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Check, 47.
Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game, and
blitz coming, and down he goes. Bud Dupree, he's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Flacco, and that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Flacco from the gun. Sanders has it over the middle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st. And Lindsey is going to get in. Touchdown, Broncos. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. It's Conner as they stay on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks.
And a loose football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is counter. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half, maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Philip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series for those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On second and 11 now. Flacco. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. From the gun, Flacco escaping the pressure right. He'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. On second down now. It's Connor, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They'll run on first down. Connor. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, Samuels. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
They really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Complete to Washington. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Roethlisberger will throw. And he finds McDonald. And he has the 1st down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Ben leaves to counter on the draw. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo, you said. Momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He's struggled. His team has struggled. You talk to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, they'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm. And we always think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, it counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with counter. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, a give to counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Now on 2nd and 13. Roethlisberger out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Trying to get the first with Samuels. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Vance McDonald, 40 yards. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the position.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions. Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Roethlisberger able to hit his tight end, Grimble. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And down inside the 15 he goes. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Like 80. 51. Here we go. Switch.
Now on 2nd and 13. Roethlisberger. And complete to Moncrief over the middle. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Steelers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Operating off play action. Flacco. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
We play to win. Let's go.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
Roethlisberger, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Here we go.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Here's Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers have taken the lead. So a big play now as the Steelers will go for 2. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables.
Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. And Denver getting set to take the field.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now Flacco. And that is incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. The drive will start with Connor. He'll rumble for about 6, up across the 20 to the 22. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking. In charge.
Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Ready?
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Roethlisberger will hand to counter. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
And it's 3rd down. Set! 180. Check back 47. They can't hang with us.
They'll try and run forward with counter. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. A big spot now for the rookie lock. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Flacco off play action. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, Freeman. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Royce Freeman, 58 yards. And now the Broncos are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for an onside kick.
Yeah, they would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. So now a big play here as the Broncos will line up to go for 2. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 30, 10, and he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Ryan Switzer 101 yards. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. A big-time special teams play here in the fourth quarter to extend their lead.
And coaches preach it all the time. If you can score on special teams, your chances of winning the game really jump up in a big way. Now, I'll let our analytics friends quantify it and give us the exact numbers, but that's what coaches talk about all the time, that extra momentum, that extra bounce you get from a special team score.
I don't have any analytics friends. Those are